Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm Courtney,
And I'm MK.
and how are you?
I am okay.
Okay.
I really did not think about what I was supposed to say when
I've
we
got three
started
topics.
recording. Okay, that's great.
Did you want to talk about books or sports or
Uh,
something?
yeah, I mean, those are usually our go-tos. That's what I can come like figure out to think of. I haven't finished a book since we talked. Wait, did
Oh my
I?
gosh, that's been 2 weeks. No. Did I see you last week? Oh no, it's
No,
been 2 weeks. I was right the
it's
first
two
time.
weeks. Um,
That can't be right.
I think it is. No, I did. I finished this one Zodiac Academy book I was reading. I was
Mm.
almost done with. And my problem with that is that in the they call it the spoiler-free slash emotional damaging version of the potential reading order. Like you can read it chronologically, you can read it in publishing order, but this is the only order that like you'll never get a spoiler because there's like three series that cross over, and this
Can
is
you
the only.
send me that order?
Yeah, I will. But so I'm on the first book of one of the companion series, in this order. And this companion series is significantly spicier than the original
Ooh.
series, which I already thought was pretty spicy.
Ooh la la.
However, I hate all of the characters so far.
Oh, bummer. Bummer.
And I'm like, that's great that there has been like nobody's actually had sex yet, but there's been like
Mhm.
spicy moments in every chapter so far. But I'm also like, but I don't like any of the characters. So like I don't care.
Oh, I will say, like, someone the other day, one of my groups is like, I've really thought I was gonna like this book, a different book. They're like, I really
Yeah.
thought I was gonna like this book, but I really like the male characters really let me down. People were like, well, it's really sucks when like regular men and fictional men are letting you down. I was like, regular men let me down all the time. I was like, but usually a fictional man doesn't. Like, I can usually just like get past any of his flaws.
Yeah.
Um,
Um
so I'm interested to
I
see what I think when I read it.
yeah, I'm so interested to see what you think when you get there. The problem is like all of the in the actual Zodiac Academy series,
Mhm.
um all of the male characters are like bad people, but I still would bone every single
Sure.
one of them. This series, it's called the Ruthless Boys series,
Oh, I've heard of it. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the characters are in fact ruthless. They're terrible people, like so much worse.
Mhm.
Um, and I hate them all.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
I
That's a
hate them
bummer.
all. So we'll see. I'm currently on, I just sent you the reading order, and I'm currently on Ruthless Boys 1. So I'm in the fourth book of this 800,000 book series. So we will,
Oh my gosh, it's so long.
it's so long.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Um, so yeah, so we'll see. And then like there's also like, so if you look at this thing, there's like 0.5 and 1.5 and 5.5.
Yeah.
Like there's like novellas that like,
Well, that's how I'm reading the Emily Rath series, Fucking Round
mm,
series, has like novellas and you will open a novella and it's like, read this after chapter 5 of the book. And I'm like, no, 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 no.
oh,
No,
see,
no,
I
no.
will.
You
I
told
will.
me, well, they don't tell you until you get to the novella. They don't tell you on a list anywhere. You've read that chapter already.
Oh,
And then you
oh.
get to it and it's like, you should read this right after this. And I was like, it's too late now.
See, I try to find
So,
anytime there's a tandem read, I try to find a list ahead of time. Like when I read when I read books six
mhm.
and seven of the Throne of Glass series, I had like a checklist for the tandem read.
Well, see, I didn't know it till I got to it. I was the first one to get to it, but now my friend has gotten to the second volume, and so she's letting me know if there's one I need to
Um,
read before.
but I'm also like 92% of the way done with 1984, but like that book's stressing me
Tough.
out. It's tough. I don't think it's tough in the way most people probably think it's tough for me, like at this period, because like I get it. Politics are scary, the world's falling apart. Everything that book is like uncomfortably close to reality in ways that it probably is meant to, and in ways that I think the general public is actually probably too ignorant to see what's actually happening.
Correct.
And there are things that both political parties are doing that absolutely fall in line with this book, and it is not
Hmm.
black and white, and like literally everyone sucks. But like last night I was reading it and I got to a part where they were like putting rats on the guy's face. And then I was like, and I will never read this again. Thank you. And like, that's what I can't get through. I'm like, sure, the world's telling politics are evil, everyone sucks, but like, do not read about rats before I go to bed. No, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I was just talking to my therapist about that yesterday, how both sides suck. And there's so many people that like you want to talk to people. Well, I'm not about to get political, don't worry.
Yeah,
But like, I'm like, I want to be able to be like, you have really extreme views about this thing that you don't really understand.
correct.
So I want to be able to like talk to you about it because here's the thing, I do understand it. I've read the Constitution. I've studied the Constitution. I've reread it. I've read the articles. I've read the court cases. I've read the dissents. I've read like I've done.
Yeah,
I do know what it says. I do know what's going on. I was like, and I'd love to talk to you about it if you listen.
right.
When
And
you
I'm
don't, I want to break your arm.
right. And I'm like, I literally have multiple degrees in analyzing literature, which
Mhm.
all news media is literature. And also I've lived in multiple countries with multiple levels of with varying levels of freedoms and democracies.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now that what you think we're afraid of is only part of the problem. But thank you.
Right. Like there's so many things. And I'm just like, I just want
So
someone to listen when I talk, especially when they don't know. Especially when they don't know.
yeah.
Like,
So it's really fun.
oh,
So reading
yeah.
1984 has been a freaking joy.
Hmm,
Um,
hmm.
But yeah, but it's because I'm reading so many books and so many of them are so long. Like I'm reading 1984, I'm reading Anna Karenina, I'm reading 11/22/63. Those are all like
Hmm.
massive books. So it's just taking me time. So like I've
Yeah.
read, it's not like I just stopped reading. It's just that because I'm reading 8 books at once, like I don't finish them.
And they're long books. That's my thing too.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm coming up on the end of all of my like horror and October readathons and stuff. Um, and so all of my books are now available at the library right now.
Great.
Which is not the time because I
Yeah.
have 3 days left.
Yeah.
Not the time. But I've been trying to get through it. So I just finished The Nightingale, which is like one of my reads, and it was like 440 pages, and like that's long when you're trying to read 30 books for a read.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I really like Kristen Hanna's writing.
Hmm.
I really like her storytelling, and I really end up happy that I finished the book at the end. But I just don't care about historical fiction. And I never, every time I read a historical fiction book, I'm like, I need to know more about history than I do. Like, and so I just get like annoyed. I don't want to listen to it. I get distracted. But it's a really great book, and I'm always really glad when they're finished. But the first like 12 hours of my listening, I'm like, I'm
Yeah, I'm a little bit mad at you though. I'm just looking at our reading challenge on Goodreads and I
mhm.
am out at 30 of 52 books read and you are at 118 of 52 books read.
And I haven't
Okay,
loaded any books from this month.
but also I don't do audiobooks.
Mhm, mhm.
So if I'm listening to an audiobook, it's a book I just finished reading. I will like
Yeah,
reread it via audiobook and then I don't mark it as a new book because I like literally just read it. And
yeah,
so I don't do audiobooks, which also means that the time I have to read is significantly shorter because
right.
I don't have any of that extra like travel reading time.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which ones I actually read, like actual books. Um,
I'm sure
oh,
some I'm
I did read 11 of them from this month were actual books.
right, and that's the thing is like I'm sure some of them you read, like you do
Yeah,
read physical books, but it
yeah,
is because I don't do audiobooks as a first read ever,
hmm
it does make my ability to read
for
fast
sure. Yeah,
slower, like
because I
much
listen
less.
at I listen at work a lot. Like I can't
Right.
read at work obviously because I'm typing and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I have like the big challenge I'm doing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 more books left to read for this week, which one I have an hour left listening to. I'm listening to Brent Weaver's new book, and just love. I just love her so much. She wrote the Ruinous Love
Oh,
series,
yeah,
Butcher
yeah, yeah.
Blackbird. And then I have a couple of like novellas, like a horror novella, and just because I had to read something to knock off some of these prompts that I haven't finished.
Mm.
So I have one that's like a football novella and a horror novella, and I'll finish both of those today. Probably when we get off. So then I'll have 4 more to get through, and I really want one of them to be Calabasas because it
Mm.
just came in at the library and it's like it's the new RX Playing book. It's what everyone's talking about. They wrote Babel
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yellowface,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
I haven't read. But it's 559 pages. It's like a 28-hour audiobook. And so like I don't know if I'm gonna get through it before Friday at midnight.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but I would really like to, and I think we get extra points if we read books over like 400 pages or something. I don't know. Um, which I've only got a few over 400. Most are in like 250 to 350 range. Um, but yeah, so and I have one more, other than the novellas, I have one more like physical book I want to read because I have Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, which is my book of the month,
Um,
this month.
I'm doing terribly on my fall challenge book. Like I only have two of my fall bookmarks on
On
Goodreads.
Goodreads.
Yeah.
Um, do you do them on Kindle too?
Yeah. Oh no,
I
the Kindle. No, I don't do the Kindle challenges.
You should.
I don't know how to.
What do you mean? It's on, do you have a, you have to have the Kindle app to find it because you used your actual Kindle, but do you have the Kindle
Yeah,
app on your phone?
I don't.
You should get the Kindle app on your phone. It has them.
The challenges.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can find them like somewhere on Amazon.com, but I don't know how to do that. I go through the app, but because it tracks everything you do on your Kindle too. So like it'll track your pages read and what days you've read, whatnot. So like I also only have 3 achievements done, but I've read for I think 3 of the other ones. I just haven't logged them yet. So I think I technically have completed 6 for the fall challenge on Goodreads. And then on Kindle, I have 7 of 15 done. And that one, I mean, that one's based off of, I have to, like, I need to read a manga. So I downloaded The Witch Hat Atelier. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how you say it in French. I don't know if that's how you say it. And I downloaded that because it was like 180 pages, so it's not very long. Um, and then a mystery book from the selection, and I'm sure I have like 5 of them on my list. So,
Where? Okay.
oh, Project Hail Mary is what I'm reading for that one, which I
How
also probably need to try and finish this.
reading challenges. I found it. Okay. But it takes me just to my Oh, wait. This is different.
Hmm.
It's the Goodreads like book challenge, but then it's also these are different, right? Okay.
No, no. So Goodreads has two, and it's the monthly one. So like you get a bookmark every time you read each month. And then
Yeah.
there's the Goodreads challenges,
Yeah, yeah,
which are the
yeah.
ones you've been looking at. And then on the Kindle, there's a separate one for Kindle challenges.
Yeah, like but it has like my
Yeah, yeah.
normal it has my thing that I set up on Goodreads of how
Yeah,
many books I wanted to
yes.
read, but then it also has the challenges that are different.
Yeah, because it's connected to your Goodreads account.
Which I am at 6 of 15 on my Kindle challenges, apparently, and I didn't even know.
Nice. See, I told you it tracks it itself,
Oh,
so
that's
don't worry
so
about that.
nice. That's so nice.
Hmm. I love a good challenge. Don't threaten me with a good challenge. Um, it's been a fun time. I'm trying to think if I read anything like stellarly. I've been so tired, but I'm loving Tourist Season by Brent Weaver. It's the love of my life.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Um,
I've gotten the perfect week twice, but I will probably never get the perfect month.
which one's, oh, Perfect Week, the challenge. I was like, what book is
Yeah.
that? Yeah, and I have so many that I didn't get to this month that I'm really like bummed about. Like, I really wanted to read I Was a Teenage Slasher, and like I've been wanting to read that book for a while and just didn't get to
Mm,
it. And then oh, I have to get through Legendary. That's for one of my other book clubs. Um, and then Calabasas, I mentioned. King of Ashes. I don't really love S.A. Cosby's writing, but it's for one of my book clubs.
yeah.
Blood of Hercules. I've heard the narration is really good for that one. I don't really
Okay.
know what it's about. I mean, I assume Hercules. But like otherwise, I don't really know what
Yeah.
it's about. Um, so we'll see. But I really wanted to get through that one, and I don't know that I'm done.
Yeah. No, I'm still what am I still the three giant ones. I have the New Dark Fae. I'm almost done with the fourth book in the Viking series. I'm taking 100,000 years to read the third Fourth Wing book because I it's just stressing me out. And then I'm still reading. Oh, and then I'm on the Captain Hook book for
Mm,
The Disney villain series.
yeah, and you hated the last one.
I did hate the last one.
I told you I didn't love Straight Out Until Morning, the Liz Braley
Yeah.
one. And then one of the girls in my book club who runs it, she read the Once Upon a Dream, the Sleeping Beauty one, and she didn't love it. But Liz Braley doesn't write all of them. And I don't remember whoever it is that writes like after the fourth or fifth book, I really like their writing. I don't
Okay.
remember who it is though. And so I'm kind of like, maybe I'll hang in there. We'll see.
Yeah. So, yep. So those are my 7 books that I'm reading, and they're all taking too long. So it's great.
Fair, fair. Well, while we're sad about not reading 17 books a day, do you want to give us a little joy in our life?
Sure. Um, so what? I don't remember which one I read you last time.
You know I'm not the one to ask.
I know.
Never am I the one to ask what you've said to me before.
Yeah, I know. When's the last time we recorded this damn podcast? Just kidding.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Do you have a theme? Can you give me a theme of one? I can tell you if I remember that theme.
Oh shit, I didn't write it last week. What a joke. Um, I know which episode, but I don't remember if I read the first one and I'm on the second one, or if I was the last week was I talked about letting go, or was I talking about fantasies? No, I was definitely talking about letting go. I don't remember this thing about the fantasies at all. So that's
Oh
okay.
no.
All right.
Oh no, that was supposed to be on Sweet Tea. That was terrible.
All right.
Um,
Surgeons, just making note. Surgeons usually fantasize about wild and improbable surgeries. Someone collapses in a restaurant. We slice them open with a butter knife, replace a valve with a hollowed out stick of carrot. But every now and then, some other kind of fantasy slips in. Most of our fantasies dissolve when we wake, banished to the back of our minds. But sometimes, if we are sure if we try hard enough, we can live the dream.
yes, I'm all about that. I too believe if I try hard enough, I can live the dream.
See, I wouldn't ever want to live a single thing that I've dreamed.
Here's the thing. This I forgot until this very moment. I haven't slept in like a week and a half until last night. And I slept so hard that I had two different dreams and then
Mm.
like a third piece, which was the problem. The third piece was the problem. So I had this first dream where I was like with the love of my life. This is not a person I know. They are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Who's to say who they are? And everything hunky dory, all is well, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I moved to my second dream. I have a second dream about a different love of my life.
Oh, yes.
No idea, don't know who they are, everything's fine, everything's hunky dory. And then like I had my wake up moment where I went back to sleep, and then it was like a nightmare. Like it was the second love of my life turned into a nightmare for like 20 minutes. And then I woke up and I was like, well, I should have gone back to sleep at 4 a.m., I guess, when I woke up. I should have just stayed awake because nothing good has
I
come of this.
no, I have been having really vivid and intense dreams.
Hmm.
I mean, I always did, but they've gotten so much worse. Um, and last night, all I remember about my dream was that I was somewhere at a restaurant or something, and they quite literally did not have a single non-alcoholic beverage on the menu.
How?
I don't know, but I was like, but
Like
I
even bars have non-alcoholic drinks
right,
on
but I was like in
the
the dream, but I was like, but I can't have that. And they were like,
Yeah.
well, there's no other option. I was like fighting in this dream that I was like, you can't exist without like you have to have a non-alcoholic option. Like that's not okay. And they were
Right.
like, well, then don't come here. And I was like, I'm not here by choice. Wherever it was, I didn't want to be there anyway. Like
Yeah.
I was like, it's not even my choice to be here. And I woke up and all I could remember was being like, what the fuck is wrong with, yeah. So my dreams don't, I would never in my life want to live out a dream I've had.
That's the funniest thing. Yeah. I I just would like to pick and choose. I would just like to pick and choose.
Yeah.
I would like dream number one with love of my life because dream number two turned into a nightmare, so who's to say that it wouldn't in real life?
Right.
Dream number one seemed fine, as far as I know. Who knows? I'll go back to sleep tonight. I'll let you know if it's terrible tomorrow. So
Great.
Who's to
I'll,
say?
I'll let you know if the manager of the restaurant ever lets me order water.
Amazing, amazing. Oh, maybe I'll call them in my dream and be like, "Hey, here's the situation. You
I just
have to
want
have a
to I
non-alcoholic
just want a glass
beverage.
of water. That's
You
all.
have to have water. Like you make alcohol drinks with water. You have to have water." Um, that's really funny. Well, today is the finale of American Horror Story Coven. It is episode 13 and it is called The Seven Wonders.
And
And
when
what a
it
wild
started, I did not know the fuck I was watching.
well, let me tell you about the day before we get into what happened.
Okay.
It aired on January 29th of 2014, which I just found out is one of my friend's birthdays, literally this
Cool.
week. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about Halloween. I guess I'll talk about it next week. It was rated 7.7 out of 10. I won't talk about it next week. I'll be on a cruise. You never get to hear about anything I did for Halloween.
Oh,
Our number one song is Timber. Our number one movie is Right Along. Number one book is The Invention of Wings by Sue Kidd. So nothing's changed. I guess January was boring. Which
yeah.
I mean, it's January, so fine. Um, on this day, Cristiano Ronaldo became the first non-Spanish person to be the captain in Real Madrid for Real Madrid.
Nice.
Um, Dale Jarrett entered the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and scientists discovered how to convert normal cells into stem cells in mice. So a lot of things happening this day, a lot of things happening. Our director is still Alfonso Gomez Reynolds, so he has directed most of the season.
Yes.
Our writers are Douglas Petrie and John J. Gray returning, and our editors, we have three this week, but they're all returning.
All right.
It's Fabian Bouvie, Bradley Bucher, and Stuart Schill. So everyone that's been an editor now just did it together.
Nice.
Um, and our the guest star of the week is Kyle Sakura, who plays Bill, who is the cameraman. I'm like 90% sure the
Oh,
interviewer at the end.
got it. Awesome.
He is known for Homicide: Life on the Street, City Slickers, Drop Zone, and The Purge election year. He is married to the actress Carrie Coleman, who is known for The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, as well as some other things. His hero is Jack Kerouac, and he is a certified yoga instructor and trained in karate and kung fu.
What a life.
What a life he has led. Um, so now, as you had mentioned, we start um, with Stevie Nicks, of course, because who else would we start with?
Words.
And she is just wandering around the house singing her song, and we see flashes of the girls as they're preparing for their Seven Wonders trials. And she just sings and sings until everyone starts coming down for the trials, and then we get the credits. So it's just a little, you know,
Yeah.
scene. It's like a music video.
Yeah. Which was so weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
cool and it was great and loves TV, but I was like, what is happening?
Hmm.
Before we get, did you end up taking notes about the things that changed in the credits?
Mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, good. I didn't have time to watch them either
Amazing,
to
because I
know.
remembered right now when you asked me. So,
Cool, cool, cool,
oh
cool.
gosh,
So, if somebody wants to let us know a series of all
please
the,
feel free.
feel free to inform us about all the things that changed in the credits. I can't look it up because I'm sure it'll tell me
Yeah.
shit about other seasons that I don't want to know.
I don't think it does because I did note, like, I did watch them throughout the season. I just
Yeah.
didn't make notes. And then, like, this one, I definitely noticed, like, the witches became the four girls at one
Yeah.
point, and we had like a plethora, and like, it had different stuff in it, but I think it was all still related to this season. I think it's only in the show that they actually, um, like, foreshadow other seasons, not in the credits.
Oh,
Um, but
it's
I can't be
okay.
certain because I didn't look it up.
It's okay. There's a Screen Rant episode called Every Time the American Horror Story title sequence spoiled the ending.
Yeah, yeah, because they do in every season, but you just don't know until you know. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times they just it's not something you would have seen.
Right.
Um, so we
Oh,
you can tell us after we finish this episode.
yeah. Okay.
So Myrtle is getting everyone set up for their last supper. She's gotten caviar for them all because it could be their last dinner or it could be the start of a new beginning for them. Who's to say? And this is they've started changing up the seven wonders. Usually it's like this person is being like tested or whatever, this and that. And like now this time they're trying them all together, which we already knew that, but they're telling you a little more about the history of that it is
Yeah.
unique. Um, and while they're having this dinner, I was watching them and she's like, and you have champagne, you have this, and I'm like watching them drink, and I'm like, what if their first trial was like, can you survive poison? I like started creating trials. I knew it wasn't because obviously we talked about the trials last week and I've seen this episode, but I was just like creating new trials in my head. Like if we're gonna go off book, let's go off book.
Right.
But they didn't. They followed the rules mostly. Um, and so we do. We go to the next day after the Last Supper, and they are getting ready to do all the trials. So they start, they've decided to go out of order though, because they are going off book. They're going out of order.
Yeah.
Myrtle's picking the order she likes best,
Because of
which I
course she
guess is
is.
fine. Um, and so they go with telekinesis first. Well, no shocker there. Every one of them passes.
Done.
They've all shown that kind of talent before, so it's not a surprise to anyone. So then they go to conciliance. I
Yeah.
shouldn't write things. Um, Basically, they are mind reading and controlling people's minds.
Yeah.
Again, all of them pass. You have Misty and Queenie against each other, Madison and Zoe, and Madison and Zoe get into a little snafu where
Hmm.
Madison decides that she's gonna control Kyle's mind instead and have him make out with her in
Yeah.
front of Zoe, and then Zoe tries to control him, and people start getting thrown against walls. It's just a mess. And so the third task is a Decidium where they all go to hell and then find their way back. And so we take this one at a time to see kind of where they go. So we go to Queenie first, who has obviously already seen her hell is in this like
Yeah.
chicken store and like where she used to work. She's the first one back, no problem. We've seen her do it before.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Madison, who comes back shortly after, and she tells us her horror story is being on the network musical for Sound of Music, and she wasn't
So,
even the star. And I was like, I wonder, I don't remember when this came out, but I think when Sound of Music came out, I thought it was the same time when Scream Queens was coming out, which
mm.
she starred in. And so I'm wondering if there's actual beef there or what happened.
Oh,
Because that is very specific.
yeah.
Um, and then Zoe comes back and she's just like, me and Kyle kept breaking up. She's so overdramatic. And also, like, if you and your dead boyfriend that you didn't even know before he died breaking up is your hell, God help you. Like, I wish that was my
Right.
hell. Like, I'm sure mine's way worse than that. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I've been through worse things than that. So, could be, but fine. And then we go to Misty, and she's in her lab, and she keeps bringing the frogs back to life, and her because she doesn't want to dissect them, and the teacher keeps telling her if you keep bringing them back to life you're gonna have to kill them again, and so it's a repeat of over and over her bringing them back to life and the teacher making her kill them, and turns out that she gets too stuck in that loop. She's running out of time. Cordelia wants to go in and get her, and Myrtle's like, we're not allowed to do that, you know the rules. So she just holds her and she tries to like talk to her and try to get her to come back, but she does run out of time and she turns to dust and is just immediately dead and stuck in hell,
Yeah.
which is really fast and devastating. So then Cordelia wants to hold vigil before they move on, and Madison's like, I didn't even know her that well. Homegirl, you've killed her, and then you trapped her in a crypt. Like, You know
Right.
her well enough, like, but fine. So we move on to the next one, which is transmutation. And that's the one where they go from one spot to the next without moving, basically. And they're playing tag, and everybody's like, be careful, be careful. And they're like, we just want to have fun. We just want to have a break. Like, we've been doing so much hard work. Well, that was the wrong move because Zoe transmutation's wrong and ends up on a spike on the gate.
So listen, when Misty didn't come back from hell, I was kind of like sad, but I
Hmm.
expected that. I never thought she was going to be the Supreme.
Sure.
She doesn't have the emotional maturity to do it.
Hmm.
But Zoe accidentally killing herself was not expected. I was very much like, wait, what? No, that can't be how this goes.
And especially right after it had, like, you'd think there would be like some tasks in between before another one killed
I wasn't even
themselves.
worried about the timing. I thought maybe we were gonna pick them off all off one by one and they
Mm,
were gonna die, but I didn't expect it to be Zoe. And I didn't
yeah.
expect it to be in the middle of them actually all having fun and enjoying each other and then accidentally impaling herself.
Mm, yup, yup. But she does. And so then they go all into the greenhouse and they're talking about the next one being Vitalum Vitalis, which is bringing them back to life, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring her back to life. And Queenie is just trying her hardest and just can't do it. And she's devastated. I think her emotions play a lot into why she can't, but
I do too, but I also think that Queenie's inability to do the Vitalum Vitalis is actually not surprising to me
mhm.
because of her voodoo doll powers. Because
Yeah,
in the past when we've seen that, like Misty's power was different, but in the past when we've seen and when they did the like flashback to what the Seven Wonders were and they explained the Vital Vitalis, it always
yeah,
showed like taking something negative in exchange. So like you take the bad out
right.
of their body by putting it into your body. However, because Queenie has the voodoo doll powers, she can't put bad into her body. It goes back into another person anyway. And so like
You're right.
I'm like, she wouldn't have the ability to suck the death out of Zoe without putting it back into Zoe. And so I think that that's why she can't do that one.
I think that makes sense, and I didn't even think about that being like the reason why. I just thought it was because she was like
Too.
emotionally, she's not emotionally strong enough, and I never thought she was like
I
witchy strong enough either. Like
I
I
didn't
didn't think
know. I
she was
never
the
thought
one.
she was the Supreme, but I think that being the one that she can't
Hmm.
um ever like overcome makes sense because
I
of
think that makes
what
sense.
her
Yeah,
traditional powers are.
yeah, correct, correct. But yeah, so she obviously can, and so they're gonna have Madison do it, and Madison's refusing to bring her back.
Madison is a rotten bitch.
She is the worst kind of person. Like, oh my gosh, she is the worst kind of person. Yeah, and it's like we know she can bring people back to life because she brought Kyle back to life. Not well, but she brought him back to life. And so
But that
like,
was her first attempt at it and she still didn't.
right.
So like,
Right. And that was before her powers were growing too.
yeah.
So like we know she can do it. She's just refusing because she says that it's over because no one else can do it and she can. But also you do have to complete all seven but
Right.
like you still have to complete all seven wonders regardless. But I think she also was scared that Zoe was actually the Supreme, and if she was brought back, she would become
Yeah.
Supreme. And so she just refused and she was like, I won, I'm the Supreme, this is over. And then she walks away.
I
And then
the number of times in this episode where I was like, "Oh, Emma Roberts isn't acting."
yeah, 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 yeah. She
I,
sucks as a person and
yeah.
as Madison.
Also,
For
just so you
sure.
know, I looked up if there was any connection from her to The Sound of Music, and there isn't. The only thing I could find is people being really mad that Ryan Murphy had the audacity to write a joke like that when he wrote Glee.
That is, here's the thing. That is a
Listen,
fair criticism. However, Glee's
I
way better than the Sound of Music Network TV.
The Sound
Like,
of Music Live was one of the more successful
it
ones.
was, but Glee was
Um,
better.
and here's the thing. I love Glee. I love
Mhm.
Glee. Like, no shame. I have multiple physical CDs of Glee albums.
Right.
I will not pretend that objectively Glee was not one of the worst written plots I've ever
Mm,
read ever anywhere. And when Glee is as riddled with plot holes as it is, and then you have American Horror Story, which is also, despite being wonderful, objectively riddled with plot holes that then turn into really outlandish things just to close the plot hole.
yeah,
You don't get to make fun of other people's writing when that's what you do for a living.
that is fair. I I was so when did that come out on TV? The Sound
2013,
Music.
2013.
Okay. Scream Queens came out 2015. So I'm sure they weren't even like filming at that point.
No, no,
Um,
it was definitely not an Emma Roberts based joke. It was a Ryan Murphy based joke, and which is probably um not really appreciated.
yeah, but it's kind of but it was a little too in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we go to later that night, and Cordelia is having a pity party. She's like, I have failed everyone.
Hmm.
Like Madison is the only one left. Everyone keeps dying. I don't know what's going on. I'm the worst person on the planet. And obviously Myrtle's just like, chill out. And we have a flash over to Kyle, who's crying over Zoe, of course,
Of
his love of
course.
his life that he's known for 5 minutes. Um,
But listen, yes, I think that their love is stupid and dumb.
mhm.
But like it's intense enough that her hell is breaking up with him. And like that's something you don't really have a lot of control over. And to be fair, he died, and the only reason he's like cool with being like Frankenstein's monster is for her. So
Yeah,
if she's dead, what the fuck is the point?
yeah. I mean, yeah,
So,
that is totally fair. Um, yeah, but as we go back, we're back to Myrtle and Cordelia, and Myrtle has this bright idea that Cordelia should try to be the Supreme because she's like, how have I missed it all of these years? You're literally the blood of the Supreme. You're literally next in line. You literally have run this coven because Fiona didn't.
yeah.
Like, she would have stifled your powers, which she's done all these years. Why would it not be you? So now she's decided Cordelia needs to run for this as well. So she's now going to do the Seven Wonders along with everyone else. And we knock them out one after another. One, two, three, four, five, six. She's just like dot, 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 dot. And so all she has left is well, she has the first five, and we learned that her hell was that she was trying to get Fiona's approval and Fiona wouldn't give it to her, which she's like, that's nothing new. That's every day of my life. So whatever.
Whatever.
Um, and then they have to do divination, which Madison hasn't done yet. So they have to do divination. And the way they're doing it is they have like this cup of small pebbles.
Yeah, it's like
And
runestones.
yeah, and they are pouring it out, and they have to find a specific past supreme item that Myrtle names. And Cordelia, without her eyes, because she's still blind at this point,
Yep.
um, does it. She just figures it out and is completely right. It's in a whole different room. And
Well, and
Madison,
it's because divining has nothing to do with actual eyesight.
right,
Um,
right.
but also the reason Madison can't do it is because Madison is a selfish bitch who doesn't care about anything but herself. And
And
that
because
makes
she's
it,
not meant to be the supreme.
well, yes, but it also makes it really difficult to do a power that is completely
Hmm.
exterior.
Right. Which, to be fair, Fiona did it because she had to also pass the Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
And Madison is probably the most like her of all of them.
Yeah.
But yes. And she throws the biggest hissy fit
Oh my
that I've ever seen. And she's like,
God.
I'm not
Ever.
doing this. I've already become supreme. I'll go bring Zoe back to life right now. And it's like, that's not, you don't get to just pick and choose. You have to complete all seven. Like, I don't know what you don't understand about how this works, but you're wrong.
You
And
are
so
wrong.
finally she does try to do it and she can't. She guesses two different places and neither is right.
And
And
Queenie's just like, girl, give it
yeah,
a rest.
yeah, it was so funny. And then she was like, you know what? Fine. I'm going back to Hollywood. I don't want to be here anyways. I'm going to pack my bags up. I'm going to go straight to TMZ and I'm going to tell them all about what's going on here. And it's going to throw everyone for a loop. See ya. And so then she goes to pack and she runs into Kyle, who is real pissed off that she wouldn't
Oh
bring
yeah.
Zoe back. He's like, you and me have both been on the other side. You brought me back. You've been brought back. Why would you not bring Zoe back? And we hop back over to Cordelia, who is working on bringing Zoe back now as her, Vitalis, Vitam Vitalis or whatever the seventh
Yeah.
wonder is. And Madison says that she let her die because she's in love with Cal. She did it for them. And he's like, you're a terrible actor, and kills her, which is,
And while I know that at this time, um, it was before everything fell apart between Emma Roberts and
mm-hmm.
Evan
Evan
Peters,
Peters.
I just hope that sometimes when Evan is feeling really stressed about the things he went through in his life, he just goes back and watches this moment of him getting to tell Emma that she's a terrible actress and then choking her to death. Like, I hope that that's his
That brings him
therapy.
some
I
joy.
hope that that
Yeah,
is his therapy.
for sure, for sure. I hope so also. I also hope that for him. Bless his heart. Um, and we go back to Cordelia, who obviously completes the seventh wonder, brings Zoe back. And then we go back and Spalding has appeared with Madison and Kyle. And he says she was already packing, so everyone's gonna think she left, they can bury the body without a problem. And Kyle's like, who are you? Where did you come from? And he's like, I'm the help. I was like, you do help a lot in ways that maybe you shouldn't, but you do help a
Shouldn't.
lot. Um,
Okay.
and so we go to Cordelia and they start talking about how one of the like key things about the Supreme is that they're in like peak health and perfect health. And so she's glowing, her skin is clear, and her eyesight's back.
Yep.
So now she is a full person again. And also her garden is flourishing around her. Like everything that has to do
Everything's
with her
great.
is like flourishing. And now she's on the news and she's telling everybody the truth about the witches. She's like, this isn't a cult, like it's a coven, like we're not recruiting. Well,
We're
she
not,
says
we're,
we're not recruiting, and then she's like, but come down if you think you're a witch.
well,
I'm like, kind of sounds like
kind of
recruiting.
sounds recruiting, but it's also I do like that she makes the point where she's like, "We're not actively seeking anyone. If
Mhm.
you think you belong here,
Right.
like you can reach out to us." And then they are trying to vet the girls. They're not just gonna
Sure.
like take randos.
Well, 100%, yeah.
But she's like, "If you think you belong here, like please reach out to us. If you feel alone, like reach out to us." And it does feel kind of like like a cult leader and the
It
things that they
does.
say. It's very it's very but it's also cults are such a tricky line anyway. That's why they're so
Yeah.
fascinating. It's because they never start cults never start culty.
Yeah. Yeah. So who's to know? Um, yeah, so she's doing this whole thing, this whole situation, and she gets off and she's like making notes on a map of like what girls applied, where they're located, to try and get everything in order. And Myrtle comes in and starts telling her like, you need to be the like best you can be. And she's like, well, here's one of the things I'm thinking about. Like our council is gone, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so I think Zoe and Queenie should be promoted. Like I know they're really young, but they've grown a lot. They're part of the team. Like
Yeah.
they really are very, profound, which is even if they're not the supreme. And Myrtle's like, yeah, 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 that's all well and good. But also, you have to burn me at the stake. And she's like, excuse me? I don't think I do. And she's like, that's the like um that's the ultimate sacrifice for witches that kill other witches. Like they have to be burned at the stake. And she's like, if you want to be the all reigning supreme, you have to do this.
Yeah, you have to show
And
that your discernment isn't personal, like it is
right.
for the coven.
Right. And Delia does not want to do that, but does indeed. So we go back to where we've burned her before to burn her again. And she da, 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 yeah, so she burns her with the stake, she lights her on fire.
Listen,
Her last word.
I was gonna say I don't like Myrtle. I think
I
Myrtle is
don't
a
either.
weird character. I have
Yeah.
had a lot of mixed feelings about her, but most of them are not positive. However,
Hmm.
when this bitch said for her final word, just shouted Balenciaga, I was like, you know what? Go off, Queen. Like,
Yeah, I
what?
know.
Sure.
I know, bless her heart. Um, yeah, she's a character for sure. And then they go back to the house, and that's where Cordelia tells them that she'd like them to be the council. They're thrilled, they're honored, they're, of course, ready to
Yeah.
be the council. And then she hears laughter from afar.
Specifically her mother's laughter.
Yes. And she wanders back into the parlor room or something. And there is Fiona. And she's like, this isn't possible. I saw you die. And she's like, here's the thing.
No, you
And
didn't.
we get a flashback. And we see the Axeman and Fiona where we left them fighting about her going to Paris. And she's like, I'm not going to Paris without you. I am, but not for more than 2 days. I'm going to Paris while they do the Seven Wonders. They're going to think I'm dead. They're going to find the new Supreme. We are going to kill the new Supreme. And then we're going to be back in business. Like, this is the situation. But I have to, everyone needs to think I'm dead so that they will move on.
Yeah.
Um, and so she puts that memory in his head with her weird spit thing that she did to the cops before. And she, and then she left. So he could fool Cordelia. And she covered it. Oh, I'm
Ooh.
doing stuff again. And she
Okay.
covered him in goat's blood. So it looked like there was blood. And because he thought it was her blood, his memories went to Cordelia, who also thought it was her blood.
Right.
Um, and da, 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 da. So then she said she's come back. She looks horrible. And she's telling him that she did intend to kill, and she was like, it's harder when it's your daughter, isn't it? And she's like, not really, but also like, I'm just ready to die. Like, it'd be really like, have mercy on me in my life. And Victoria's like, no, you really have to like go through all of this. This is not how it works. Like, also, we just talked about how you can't kill other witches. Like, that's
Yeah.
like a sin. So come on. But she doesn't. They go to hug, and she talks about how they've never hugged, and her mom dies in her arms. Which is a little bit
A little
sad.
sad. Only a
Um,
little, but
right. And then we go to Fiona's death, and she wakes up in bed. She's still coughing a little bit, but she's in the countryside, and the X-Man shows up to cook catfish, and it's everything that he told her it would be. It's the house he grew up in. It's on the countryside with all the like rivers and
yep.
trees, and she is real upset. And it turns
So
out
upset.
it's a little 51st dates. He says she wakes up mad every morning, forgets where she is, and hates him, hates everything. She's drinking a lot, and he just wants her to be happy together. And he tells her, I'm in heaven. And as we go through this little scene, we turn around and we see Papa Legba and realize he's in heaven, but she's in hell. And then we go back to Robichaux House, and they're opening the doors for the new witches.
There's a hell of a
And
lot of them.
there's a hell of a lot of them. So that is where we end.
It is weirdly happy. Like
Weirdly
that's
happy, right?
that was my my total analysis of the show was that it was a little weird how nice everything ended. Like everyone who deserved a comeuppance got one.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like everything turned out great. And so I found it I, I should be thrilled. I found it disconcerting because I'm like, okay, sure.
Well, this is one of the ones that people were hoping because it was so well revered, like throughout the season, that they were like, maybe he left it open-ended to do another witches season.
Mm,
And that's why it ended the way it did.
which makes sense. I could see
Yeah.
that. Um,
Mm.
I couldn't. find a ton about the details that changed. But in the credits, but I did in that episode about the spoilers, like the things that are in the credits that tell you the end of the show. Um where it so each it says each cast member's title card flashes through the opening sequence. They're accompanied by a symbol or drawing that indicates something about their character. And when Sarah Paulson's name appears, the image next to her name is Santa Muerte, who is a saint who's also known as the Lady of the Seven Wonders. So like literally from the first episode, the answer of who the next Supreme would be is in the
Well,
credits.
Santa Muerte is also the saint of death.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, that's what Myrta
Yeah.
means. That's but her other name is the Lady of the Seven
hmm
Powers. So like it's
Yeah.
literally right in your fucking face.
I mean, they do that every season. You would figure out the ending if you figure out what the credits are telling you. It's so wild every time. I do have a little bit of trivia too.
Okay.
There was a poll for who people thought the new Supreme would be in order from most voted to least.
Yeah.
How would you rate them of the five
Of
girls?
the five girls,
And
um,
other, you can so they had the five girls and other were the options.
okay. So I would say I would put Misty in fifth place. Or
Okay.
sixth place actually, like including the other. I just never saw that happening. And then despite her power, she's just such a bitch. I would put Madison next. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Then I'd put Queenie. And then I'd put Zoe. Then I'd put then
Nan
I
is the other one.
well Nan died so long ago that I didn't think that counted.
Yeah. But those were
Um
the six that they did. The girls you've mentioned, Nan and then other.
oh, and Fiona was not one of them. Fiona is
No,
the
for the new
Fiona.
Supreme.
Not I'm sorry, not Fiona.
Cordelia, no,
Cordelia.
Cordelia was not listed. It was the five girls and then other.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I would put Misty, Nan, Madison, Queenie, Zoe, and then honestly, other being somebody else coming in and taking over, I would actually put that over any of the five girls.
Mhm.
That would be my
Well,
ranking.
the order that it was, everyone voted other last, which I think even when I watched it, I felt like it was either Zoe or Cordelia. Like
Yeah, but
I
if
wasn't too
Cordelia wasn't one of the
surprised.
options, like
Yeah. Well,
I
like if other was an option, so like I don't think I would have put other last, like
no,
looking
I
at this
wouldn't have.
poll.
That's why for me,
Yeah.
for between those five girls and the option being a surprise
Mhm.
twist ending, where somebody else comes in, whether it's Cordelia or Myrtle or like a person we've never even met
Sure. Yep.
before, I would have put that above any of the five girls, to be
Mhm.
honest, because I think that
That's fair.
they all had severe personality flaws.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Fifth, they had Nan.
Hmm.
Fourth, they had Queenie. Third, they had
Really?
Madison. Second, they had Misty, and first they had Zoe. So most people voted with how the show wanted you to think,
See,
based on
I
yeah.
never thought Misty was that high. I never thought Misty was going to be
Mm-mm.
the Supreme. I always thought Misty was too emotionally stunted.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be Nan.
yeah,
Um, and I didn't think it was going to be Madison because that was too obvious. Like if it had actually been her when Fiona killed her for it, um, like that would have just been too obvious.
right.
Um, but so for me, the top two were Queenie and Zoe, which makes sense. Those are the
Yeah.
last two standing. Like those are the two that like actually had enough power and
hmm
goodness to make it to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Queenie was a good option until she wasn't. Then she became a wild card, and I think she had a little bit too much like dark in her towards the end that it was like
Hmm.
you're not the right fit to be a supreme if you've already distanced yourself from this coven. And like
Yeah,
so that's why I didn't think her.
I thought my thoughts about Queenie being the Supreme kind of faded until she made the deal with Papa Legba and um destroyed Marie Laveau. Because
Mhm.
to be honest, that's a pretty big like power
Right.
move for the Supreme of the Coven to get rid of the Queen Voodoo Queen. Like that's
Yeah. But
like
now she's also made a deal with the devil. So now
see, I didn't take it that way. What I saw Queenie do was explain to the devil why someone else had already broken his terms. I didn't see her give
yeah.
him anything. She said, I won't make a deal with you, but I'll show you where your contract's already broken. Like,
Right.
and so
Which is
I,
fair, yeah.
which is fair, and that's why Queenie was still so high
Mhm.
for me because she might have been a wild card, but she killed the witch hunter, she got rid of the voodoo queen, she found the loophole with the devil. Like,
Mhm.
she had a lot of behind the scenes intelligent stuff going on.
For sure, yeah.
She might not have been as like magically powerful as Zoe
But she's really
or as
smart.
leadership like qualities as Zoe,
Hmm.
but she was the one making the power moves. And so
Yeah.
that held some weight for me.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And I think that's one of the reasons why specifically the three of them canceled each other out because they all had strengths in different places, but not enough strengths in their one place, I guess, to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really be the end all move. Um, so Ryan Murphy revealed in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that the cold open with Stevie Nicks singing Seven Wonders was not in the original script. As they were shooting the episode that revolved around performing the Seven Wonders, Stevie reminded him that she had recorded the song years ago, and they made arrangements for her to stay an extra day on set and added the scenes for the episode's cold open
So the reason it felt like it didn't belong there was because it didn't
because it
belong
didn't
there.
belong there. Yeah.
Great. I
Stevie Nicks
am
was like, I have a song called Seven Wonders. Can I sing it for you? And he's like, absolutely, you're Stevie Nicks. And so,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Because it did feel
Um,
more like a scene from Glee than from American Horror Story.
yeah, for sure. For sure. At one point, Madison says it's all just some jacked up version of Celebrity Rehab, which is funny because her father, Eric Roberts, starred on a season of Celebrity Rehab in 2008. Um, it was It was considered a plot hole when Zoe was not declared as the Supreme, given that throughout the season she's shown all seven powers. However, Cordelia says that a witch can manifest many powers without being the Supreme, and in times of crisis, like the final episodes, the powers can be even stronger and she still won't be the Supreme. So even with Zoe having performed all seven powers, it's completely
When,
acceptable that she doesn't have supremacy in her
yeah,
class.
that doesn't bother me. Okay, the ones that she didn't make it to in the actual test
Mhm.
were the Vitalum Vitalis and the
Divination.
divination. When did she do Vitalum Vitalis?
I think they're counting whenever she brought back Kyle with Madison. I think they're counting that as an
Okay,
individual
so I
time.
wouldn't count that because
Mhm.
really that was Madison doing it and Zoe was just
Yeah.
there helping like feed power to her. So, and then when did she do divination?
She did divination when she was trying to find one time when she was trying to find Misty, and then she did it again in the bathtub
Oh,
when she
when
was trying to
she
find Nan. I
with
mean,
the
I guess that's divination. I don't know if that would be the same.
I
But
would
the
say
floor, when she was on the floor doing the Misty stuff, that was divination.
but she didn't, that wasn't her. That was Cordelia.
Oh, that was Cordelia. I
No,
don't know, maybe they're counting the bathtub scene then, because I'm trying to think
no,
like,
I'm trying to think maybe when she used what did she use to find the thing in the wall where then she found Spaulding's tongue. Is that what they're talking about when she was
oh,
that
maybe. Yeah, yeah,
when she found
yeah.
the with the Axeman episode where she found the box with the pictures of the girls and Spaulding's tongue and everything? That must be the
Yeah.
time that she used divination because that's
Oh, or maybe the Vitalis is when she brought back the Axeman.
oh. Is he alive though?
I
That
mean, he's alive and because they killed him again because she brought him back to life, released his soul, and he was able to move in his corporeal form.
see, okay, that was always confusing to me because the releasing his soul, I didn't really feel like it was actually bringing him back to life because I also feel like Spaulding's in a corporeal form in his ghost form.
But he can't leave the
He's confined to the
property
house. He's confined to the house,
and
but
everyone can't see him. So it's like it's corporeal so that we can see him and see what's going on.
he can touch things and he can hold things and he
Yes.
has a corporeal body and he can be seen when he wants to
But
be
so
seen.
could the Axeman. Remember, if you remember, he
Yes,
knocked stuff
yes.
over
No,
while he was
100%.
there.
A hundred
Yeah.
percent. I think they were the same. But I thought when she released his soul, I didn't think it was from death. I thought it was from the confines of the house.
Mm. I assumed it was from death because he was able to go back into society, basically.
Which
But
is
I don't,
fair. Which is fair. I
yeah,
just think
because he
that
definitely
that's
died. I mean, they stabbed him to death, but then they had to stab him to death again for him to die again.
Yeah. So
to
I
go
don't
to
know.
heaven.
I don't know.
So
That again, there's some
there's some
there's
discrepancies.
some discrepancies and some plot holes that you can talk your way out of, but they definitely are still there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, Myrtle's parting word before she goes up in flames is Balenciaga, which is a hot,
Haute
how do you say it?
couture.
Haute couture,
Haute.
thank you. Designer Cristobal Balenciaga. However, her dress is actually designed by Carolina Herrera, who is another haute couture designer.
Yeah.
But from the very first episode, that Myrtle's introduced, she's making a lot of remarks about fashion. So
Yeah.
yelling Balenciaga just before her death holds as much meaning to Myrtle Snow as like William Wallace crying out freedom at his death. So like,
Yeah. Oh no,
which
for
is
sure. That's
obviously,
why I was like, go off, Queen. Like, okay.
this is a spoiler. We have a spoiler for the next season that happened, and I forgot. So I was like, why is this? Why is this? Why is this? I know it means something. So I'm not gonna tell.
Mm, okay.
But when it comes up next season, maybe I'll remember that it was a spoiler this
You
season.
won't.
Uh, we'll see at night. It's a pretty it's a pretty obvious big one that I feel like I'm gonna remember.
Okay.
Um, there is a gimmick to Ginger Snaps 2000, which is a movie I've never seen that everyone else seems to love.
Yeah.
And the scene when Zoe dies between the fence is exactly the same as Bridget Fitzgerald in the movie, where she and her sister take photos of them for a scholar work at the start of the movie. Even the clothes of Zoe are very similar. So it was like based off of that a little bit. Um, some plot holes and goofs. This is one that I had a problem with. Madison could have easily defended herself or escaped using any of her powers to
Yeah.
like escape Kyle.
No, yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah, and I was like, absolutely, that was the dumbest thing. But you do what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that's another spoiler for a future season. Uh,
Great.
um, the um, And then they say that like this is a miscellaneous error. They just have decided as an error,
Yeah.
given that the descent into the netherworld was most dangerous. It should have been the final test, um, because then a lot less lives will be at risk. But also, only one of them didn't make it.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, so that's fine. Um, yeah, was there anything that like surprised you that you were like, I didn't really think it was going to go this way? Like, were you surprised that Fiona wasn't dead or that she kind of gave up so easily or
No. No. I mean, I was wondering when she was hugging her. She had like tried to give her the knife and have her kill her. I was wondering if she was gonna then like pull
try to
like
kill
a
Cordelia?
like try to kill Cordelia, like stab her in the back while she
Mhm.
was hugging her. Um, but then I realized that for as sloppy as Ryan Murphy's writing can be to get that far into the finale and have the Supreme picked out and then just kill her in cold blood like that would cause way too much for him to try to wrap up and fix in how much time was left in the episode, and even he's not that weak at writing.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And this was one of the better written seasons, I think,
right,
for
and
sure.
because so many people like this season, I didn't think that they were just gonna like scrap the entire show in the last 5 minutes. So,
Yeah. And like I will say with some of the future seasons, like the writing isn't as strong, but it's not bad, it's just chaotic. Like
right.
especially the next couple of seasons coming up, it's just like, what is going on?
Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard that so the next one is Freak Show, right? I've heard that
Yeah,
Freak Show just has a lot, like too much going on.
too
Like
much, yeah.
the other three, well, Coven and Murder House, I think are very um coherent stories. I do still think Murder House is much more singularly focused in a better way than Coven.
Mhm.
I like the characters in Coven and I like the New Orleans vibes, but I still think Murder House is probably slightly
Yeah.
better, like edges it out slightly in my opinion. I do think Asylum had too much going on.
Yeah.
And every time I hated an episode, it was because there was too much going on. But from what I've heard in my completely spoiler-free, like listening to podcasts where people watch these shows, what I have heard is that Freak Show makes Asylum seem focused, and that concerns me.
So I see what they're saying, but not quite. Free Show has too much going on, but in
Okay.
a different way.
Okay.
Like there's too many storylines. They don't try to necessarily connect them all.
But that's, I mean, and that might be, I don't know if that's better or worse.
Because they're like completely separated. Like they don't really overlap in any way. It's just like it's you'll see when we get to it, but like the issue with Asylum, I mean there were a lot of issues, but one of the issues with Asylum was like they had these storylines of aliens, of asylums, of this, but they wanted you to
Mhm.
connect them all by the end.
Yeah.
And like this one is more like we have all these storylines, but if they don't connect, we're not gonna force it. Like we're
Which
gonna just
on
close it
the
off here and close this one off there. Like,
which
and it's okay.
on the one hand, I like that because I don't like trying to shoehorn things into places that they don't
Yeah.
fit. However, I also don't like that because I would rather have everything in this season meet up. Like I'd rather have all the stories actually have relevance to each other. So like
It
I
has it has one through line, but it doesn't. So like there's a through line and different scenes. I don't know how to tell you without telling you, so I'm not
right.
gonna give it away now. But
But
I
that's what
think
based on that description, I don't know if I will hate it more or less than Asylum. That's what I'm
I think you'll hate it less than Asylum. I think you'll hate it because it's chaotic. But I
but here's
think
the other
you'll
problem. Here's the other
appreciate
problem.
the writing still.
Here's the other problem. I don't do clowns.
You're gonna hate it a lot.
Yeah,
But I don't think you'll hate it the same way you'll hate Asylum.
I don't know. I don't know. Clowns are really my
I think it's a different hate though. Like, I
okay.
think it's a different hate.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
the
fine.
things you hate about Asylum are not the things you're gonna hate about Freak Show.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think watch it during the daytime with Dan.
No, Dan does clowns even less than I do
Even
clowns.
less. What
Yeah.
about Jill? How's Jill doing? Does she want to come hang out with you watch Freak Show?
Yeah. Well, we have some time. We have some time
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we're watching Freak Show, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, Dan
We need
does
to
clowns.
FaceTime and watch it together.
Right, Dan does clowns even less than I do clowns. We can't FaceTime and watch it together. You watch it at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're on an unhinged spiral.
That's true. Could
Um,
probably schedule a trip time for that.
yeah, so we'll have to figure that out when we get there. But this is actually a great segue to In the Meantime.
In the meantime, we have next week our new movie that we're gonna watch is on theme. We're gonna watch The Witch. And it has
Anya Taylor-Joy, our
Anya
favorite.
Taylor-Joy. Um, so we've watched her obviously on Soho,
Last Night in Soho.
Last Night in Soho. I absolutely adore her in The Menu. I've watched it like 17 times. Did you ever watch that one?
Which one?
The Menu, it's got Ralph Fiennes and
Oh, no, but I've heard that it's
oh God, you
great.
have to watch it. It's on HBO.
Okay.
Go watch it.
Okay.
And as mentioned, The Witch is also on HBO.
No.
That's really where you're going to find a lot of your horror movie fix, especially in that era of horror. Um, we have not seen it. It is witchy. I believe it's culty, so it should be a
That's what I've
fun
heard.
time.
I've heard that it's culty. I've heard that it's witchy,
Um,
but it's more culty than witchy,
yeah.
really.
I also did try to watch the other day, and my TV was way too dark to watch it on, so watch it on lighter TV
Yeah.
because the picture is harder to see than some other
Yeah, don't watch
movies.
it on a phone because you and I have run into that problem where we try to
Yeah.
watch things that have dark screens on a phone and it does not work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it in my library. I cannot watch it in my living room.
Yeah.
You can't see that TV in there. Yeah, so watch it. We're gonna do that. And for our movie, we will announce our new show. You'll have already seen it by now because as of recording time, the poll is going up this week, maybe tonight, maybe in the morning. Um, but we will either be doing Penny Dreadful or the Mike Flanagan universe, which is what I call it, which just means Midnight Mass, Fall of the House of Usher, etc., etc. Um, he is also been announced that he's doing the new Carrie, which is interesting.
Mm. But I guess the
that one we
question,
would do
I was like,
separate. We would do that with some
I guess
novels.
that begs the question, do we do that with Stephen King stuff?
We would do that with Stephen King
Okay.
still, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this one we would do the rest of them are based on books.
Hmm.
I don't know I don't know about Midnight Mass.
I think so.
But I know Haunting of Hill House, Fall of the House of Usher, Midnight Club. Oh, what's the other one? Midnight Mass. Is that it that's on right now?
No,
I always forget one of his.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, I said Hill House.
Oh,
Hill House, Fall
Bly
of the House of
Man
Usher.
Bly Manor?
Bly Manor, Bly Manor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is Bly Manor a book? Bly
I
Manor a book?
I
No,
believe
it is not a
it
book.
is not.
Oh, it's based off the Turn of the Screw though, so yeah, it's also based off of the book. So
Um,
everything that's come out
Midnight
so
Mass
far.
though is not.
Hmm. Um,
I don't think. Hold on. I'm just on Wikipedia. I'm not like reading anything, just looking. Um,
no, but it has thematic similarities with Stephen King's works.
okay.
And there is a separate 1990 action novel of the same name that's completely unrelated to the show.
Okay.
So it's based on like Stephen King's writings, and it references Stephen King, but it's not actually based on. So I bet he's really stoked that he's working on Carrie now. Um,
Probably.
so yeah, so no, we would say that anyways for a Stephen King universe, especially with like Welcome to Derry coming out. We have
Mhm.
which I think that might be out now. I think it just
I
came
think it
out.
just came out, yeah. So there's the new Carrie
And
show, Welcome to Derry. There's
what's
Dr.
Castle Rock?
Castle Rock, Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep's movie.
What am I thinking
Um
of?
11/22/20 they made that
11/22/63 is a miniseries.
yeah. I mean they
That's
have a couple of different The Stand has a miniseries.
mm,
There's a lot of miniseries if we want to like break out into that.
yeah.
But it would need to be like we're done with Stargate now. We're taking a big turn into like a big horror scene. Because there's a lot of those.
Let's see, hold on. Television adaptations with Stephen King's involvement. Um, the ones that he was involved in. Oh, he wasn't involved in 11/22/63.
Mm-mm, he wasn't. It's
No.
just based on his book.
Yeah. He's also not going to be involved in Carrie.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I mean, I guess it makes sense if Mike Flanagan's doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Brian Fuller has a new debut coming out. That's funny. Is coming out. It's supposed to come out this year.
yeah, we talked about this.
Hmm.
But of course it still hasn't.
Apparently, he has also mentioned. I was thinking about Crystal Lake, the Crystal Lake series that's coming out. I was like, if he's
Mm,
not doing that, what is Brian Fuller doing? So he's doing a series. He's also considering doing the Lambs is a limited series with Mads Mikkelsen and Zendaya as Clarice,
okay.
which is a choice.
A choice.
And then he also has expressed interest in reviving Hannibal, of course, as we say every year, every
Yeah.
day.
So sorry, I because I was looking at the Stephen King things, I clicked on 11/22/63 because I'm reading it right now. I have
Hmm.
already watched the miniseries, so like it's not
I
spoiled.
haven't.
I
Yeah,
watched it when like Montana and Caitlin and Nancy and I watched it when it came out because it came out the summer we
gotcha.
were at Disney.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm looking at the cast list. I don't remember any of these people being in this show.
Is there multiple versions of it?
No, no, it's
No.
just that I have so little memory
That's so funny.
of it. But it's also like the book is like, God, how many pages is this book? That's a fuck ton. Currently reading. It's one of the only ones that I'm reading in paper, so I actually like have page
Mm,
numbers.
yeah,
It is 849 pages. And it was a six
interesting.
episode miniseries. So like, no, I'm sorry, it was an 8 episode miniseries. But so that's still
Yeah,
like
so
over a
it's
hundred pages per of the book per episode.
right.
And that would
That's not quite right.
that I don't like in the book there is a whole like section of the book where the main character is in Derry, and
Yeah,
there is a lot of allusions to it. You do not have to have read it to read the book and have it make sense, but if you have read it, this section of the book makes a lot more sense. Um, I mean, I've watched it, so like
yeah,
it still makes sense, but like there's a lot of stuff about like he's basically in Derry the year after everything happens in the
gotcha.
first part of it.
Yeah, somebody gave me a reading order of Stephen King books the other day because there is so much like mentioning overlap, like
Yeah.
especially like with the Dark Towers and everything, which I would love to read Dark Tower series before I watch
Yeah.
Castle Rock.
But
Um,
so like Beverly is a character in 11/22/63. Like he
oh,
talks to
okay,
her and she won't tell him anything about what happened, but like
sure,
but they talk.
interesting.
She's that whole part, the whole it overlap is not in 11/20 in the miniseries.
Mm,
At
I bet
least
they do that with a lot of the miniseries, that they don't do the overlap that's actually written into the books.
because it makes it harder to watch it if you don't have the background knowledge. And since
Yeah,
it is inconsequential to the overall plot, you
yeah.
can just cut it. So like
And I,
there's like 100 pages that I read last week that were never on the TV show.
yeah. And I'm thinking that's probably what happened with Castle Rock and why it got canceled after only a couple of seasons. Because it was meant to follow the Dark Tower series, but it overlapped all of his universe. So it had Derry, it had Castle Rock, it had all the different things. And people weren't familiar. And so I think that probably had a lot to do with it too. Because I didn't watch it because of that.
Yeah,
Because I was like, I
I
want
didn't
to
watch
read
it
the
because I
books
knew I
first.
wasn't gonna know anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So Um, all to say, Mike Flanagan is working on New Carrie, and we are split between if we're doing Penny Dreadful or Mike Flanagan series. You will have chosen by the time you see this, so best of luck. I hope your side wins. Um, you'll know, but we'll also announce it on next week's podcast in case you missed the
For
Instagram
sure.
post. So do not fret.
But we also I was so excited to move on to telling people we were doing that we forgot to punch people.
Oh my gosh, who are you gonna punch this week?
Madison.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously. Um, Oh gosh, yes, I just want to punch her all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess because you punched her, oh my gosh, truly she's the one. I guess I'm gonna punch Fiona for like setting up the Axeman to get killed.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, not that I like was like, I wanted him to survive, but also like kind of dick move.
Yeah.
So who's your MVP?
Um, I mean, the right answer is Cordelia.
Yeah,
That is the
for
right
sure.
answer.
Yeah. Because you picked Cordelia, I'm gonna go on a wild card, and I'm picking Myrtle because as much as I don't love her, she is the reason Cordelia decided to do the Seven Wonders, and she was like, "You are the next Supreme. There's no doubt in my mind. You have to
Yeah.
do this." She led everyone in the right way, and she did. She did take her punishment like a champ. She was like, "You kill a witch, you're burned at the stake. You have to burn me at the stake, or people are not gonna like take you seriously." And so, like, I guess she did what she had to do. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with Myrtle.
that's totally fair.
Um, yeah, do you have any final thoughts? Do you have any
No, I think I said everything I needed to say.
yeah, yeah. Excellent. Well, in that case, if you have any thoughts about American Horror Story Season 3 that are not spoilers, including any foreshadowing you've seen for future seasons, um, do not include those unless you just tell me. Otherwise, you can email us, deathandaliens@gmail.com. You can find us on all of the social media at Death and Aliens. You can find me at CECloud13.
And you can find me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And we will see you on Sunday for Atlantis again. So don't watch SG1, watch Atlantis for Sci-Fi Sunday.
Bye.
Bye!